Well, hello and welcome to Rolynn's Reviews. So glad to have you with me today. It is finally Friday. Woo! Um, so we have a little weather event going on here in the great state of North Carolina. So, um, we actually um got out of school a little bit earlier than usual. So, hey, it's a win-win for me. So glad to have you here. And if you will do me one small favor, if you will, please hit that like button for me. Hopefully, we can trigger the YouTube logarithm so that they can say, wait a minute, hey, some good stuff going on there. And maybe they'll possibly share it out with more people. That would be my hope. All right. So, as you fill the chat room, hold on. Here we go. Here. All right. I'm trying to get everything set up here as we um, get going. I have a lot to unpack. I'm sure you have been keeping up with this subject matter. It's just so devastating. Um, and again, everything that we talk about here on the channel as it relates to diversity, equity, and inclusion, uh, the Democrats just cannot, in my opinion, uh, govern properly. It seems as everything that they touch, they just destroy it, right? Um, and so I know that, let me hit this right here. Okay, there we go. I think I mentioned the wildfires in the live chat that we had uh, last, was it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So, and I told you that I would more than likely do a live on this. How you doing? All right, let's go ahead and get the roll call started. How are you doing, Rob Cat? Meow. So glad you're here. Doreen's blessings to you as well. Doreen said, arrest this mayor now. Okay, yeah. Arrest New Scum. Just arrest all of them. How about that? Okay. And so how you doing, Baldwin Birds? Dorian, how are you? Okay, where are we here? Hold on, folks. I lost my okay, here we go. Let me get the stream back here. Okay, there's my live chat again. Okay, how are you doing, Baldwin Birds? Yes, we're all praying for the people in California. Michael Stevens, how are you doing, love? Good afternoon to you. You're about 2 hours from the LA fires, and lots of people are coming here to my city. Oh, wow, Michael. Just be careful. Let's hope they finally get the fires contained. As I did research for this topic, we know ultra blue California, they are so big on conservation. They are responsible for this. How you doing, Cat Mama? Hope that you are fine. All right, hit the like button for us, folks. But yeah, as I was, doing some research, and one thing that you can do so far is forest management. Now, I know about forest management and prescribed burning, and California is not doing what they need to do in the name of preservation. So ultimately, they are destroying their own forests. Mr. Fizz, how are you doing, love? And so, if you don't thin a forest, and if you don't remove litter from the forest, and again, this is in one of the classes that I actually teach, dead leaves, dead limbs, trees, okay, that acts as fuel. So when there's a wildfire, and California has been extremely dry, it's just like you're throwing gasoline on the fire. And it's just sad. Yeah, Jesse, how are you, love? Yeah, thoughts and prayers to the people in Southern California being affected by the fires. Yeah, it's sad. And if you weren't here last night, we had a live last night, and they were calling out several, famous actors and actresses who were losing their home, who has lost their homes. And James Woods, a famous actor, we know he's conservative. And it's just so sad that their lives are so miserable, and people are going on social media, applaud. They're happy. If people aren't Democrats, they're glad that bad things are happening to them. So I don't understand that thought process. I can't. Lori, how are you doing, dear? So glad that you're here. So I said I would cover this topic. So I have some clips to share with you. But again, California is responsible for this. Their Democratic leadership. And they, of course, will not accept accountability, responsibility. Everything is someone else's fault. So let me go ahead and get everything going for you here. All right. And some of the people who are starting to say something, these aren't Democrats. These aren't Republicans. These are Democrats. If you the Young Turks here on YouTube and that crowd, even if they say something, all right, because they're just always supporting the Democrats. So I was like, wow. So let me get ready to share this with you. I'll share my screen. So you know how I normally do. I have thank you, Michael. I have several clips that I'd like to share with you. Dorian, how are you? I hear that they blamed an anarchist that caused these fires. Dorian, when you're that bone dry, it doesn't take a lot. Someone could flick a cigarette and ignite flames. And the people are complaining there wasn't enough water. The water pressure is so low. It is crazy. I was like, oh my goodness. All right. So let me go ahead. I'll go ahead and start sharing clips with you. And of course, you tell me what your thought process is, what you've heard, things of that nature. Okay. And it's just, some of this could have been avoided possibly, but the wildlife situation is just revealing the utter incompetence of the Democrats. Look at the way Democrats run their states, these Democratic blue cities. They just cannot govern. Look at the last 4 years. If you look at the last 4 years in America, the Biden-Harris administration. So this is a culmination, all right, of the last 4 years. Everything up in smoke. I just dropped a truth bomb. Mr. Fizz, Fox 11 just had a great interview with the LA fire chief. She didn't hold back. The cuts have drastically hurt the department, underfunded and understaffed. Oh, yes, Mr. Fizz, I'm going to get into that. Remember the defund the police during the George Floyd riots? Well, they also defunded the fire department. Idiots. So let's listen to this. And Trump to me is so ironic. You remember every time Trump would say something that, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a conspiracy theorist. A lot of the things that he stated, we're actually witnessing it right before our eyes. So let's see what he says here.
Do you believe that federal aid should be provided to California for as long as it takes?
Well, it's very sad because I've been trying to get Gavin Newsom to allow water to come. You'd have tremendous water up there. They send it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish, which is in other areas, by the way, called a smelt. And for the sake of a smelt, they have no water. They had no water in the fire hydrants today in Los Angeles. It was a terrible thing. And we're going to get that done. It's going to finally be done. I got it done from the federal side. And he didn't want to sign it, but it's not going to happen again like that. There's no reason. Can you imagine? You have farmers that don't have any water in California. They have plenty of water. They don't have a drought. They send it out to the Pacific, and it's crazy. So what's happening in California is a true tragedy. I know those areas very well. I have many friends living in those houses. That is a true tragedy. Nobody ever thought, I mean, virtually Beverly Hills and areas around Beverly Hills are being decimated. The biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know, you talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration. They don't have any water. They didn't have water in the fire hydrants. They don't have water, and yet they have. The water comes from the
phase. We're in the public safety phase.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Okay, so you already see how this guy feels. So, you've heard me say on this show a lot. Some people can't be helped. He's talking about how wonderful Joe Biden is. Where has he been living for the past 4 years? Mr. Fizz, she has a paper trail and it's glorious. They ignored her. Who are you talking about, Mr. Fizz? Because I hope we're talking about the same person. I think so, but if you're talking about the young lady on Young Turks, I think. And so, Doreen, it's your fault. Thank you, Doreen. And they need to who can live in California? James, how are you? From July 2024 through December 2024, total 0.03 inches in Los Angeles. Woo! That's bone dry, guys. Carlos, $750. Yeah, the Curry Queen. LA fired you. Okay, thank you so much, love. Mr. Fizz. Yes. Let me see. Where are we here? Jesse says, same with Kamala. Where's she been? Jesse, you know where she's been, going around cackling. So look at these blue cities and that are governed by Democrats. Crime's out of control. Inflation, the economy, the border crisis, the migrant crimes. Again, they already had high crime rates, and then you imported crime. The economy is in shambles. How you doing, Isaiah? I'm doing great. Hope that you are. So look at what has happened in the U.S. as well as abroad the last 4 years. I'm trying to keep up with your comments, but they're coming fast and furiously. So they cannot govern. There is no accountability. There's no responsibility. Everything is someone else's fault. How you doing, Donna? Donna's here. Hello, love. And I think it's a shame. But you see what we're up against, even when it's apparent that the Democrats are guilty and responsible for this is how they talk in California. What the heck are you going to do? And so let me stop sharing that because I need to get another clip together for you. You've heard me say, if you've been here for a while, we'll cut California. They're just a lost cause. I just don't know what else to say. Yeah, exactly. And so let me go. I have to set this up. So let me get this next video ready for you. I don't even make this stuff up, folks. And how many of you are familiar with Karen Bass? She is the mayor of California. Okay. If you're familiar with her, type it in the comment section. Say yes or no for me, please. All right. So I just put it up on the screen. All right. And you look, the LA police are saying tragic time in history. Yet when it's time to go vote, just guess who they're going to all go vote for. So Mayor Karen Bass, this is her. That's who you're looking at on the screen. Donna, Donna said, yeah, another DEI. Donna, yes. Diversity, equity, and inclusion do not work. No. Another failure. Jesse, I'm so sorry that you're in a Democratic state and city. Oh, wow. So she was in Ghana going to see the Ghanaian presidential inauguration. And I want to share this clip with you because you've heard me say several times, diversity, equity, and inclusion. Here's another result. How many results do I have to share with you? Okay. James, what Mayor Bass lacks in looks, she makes up in brains. Okay, James. Cat got her. Yes. She stood there. I'm like, is she having a seizure? She didn't open her mouth. She was just looking at him. I mean, it's like she didn't hear him. I don't know what was going on. I didn't know she was having a stroke. She didn't say one mumbling word. So when she flew back and returned, this clip that you're getting ready to watch, it was just a reporter. He wasn't being disrespectful. He was just asking some questions. She said nothing, and he asked her about her defunding the fire department. He asked her about the wildfire situation, and did she feel she needed to apologize to her constituents, the people who voted for her. She said nothing. Watch. Here you go. You can't make this up, folks. Here you go.
Owe citizens an apology for being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today? Have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today? Elon Musk says that you're utterly incompetent. Are you considering your position? Madam Mayor, have you absolutely nothing to say to the citizens today who are dealing with this disaster? No apology for them? Do you think you should have been visiting Ghana while this was unfolding back home? Madam Mayor, let me ask you just again, have you anything to say to the citizens today as you return?
No. Hold on 1 second.
Madam Mayor, just a few words for the citizens today as you return to deal with the catastrophe.
Keep it down.
David, as you say, she wasn't very keen to answer any of your questions there. And fire chiefs are also admitting that they just don't have enough personnel to take out the fires.
Yeah, they're fighting all sorts of challenges. They're talking about a water shortage. There are reports of fire hydrant failures. They've been unable to use firefighting aircraft for much of the day due to the smoke that is billowing ominously from the hills where the wildfires are raging. And I suppose despite that political storm, this is, of course, at its heart, a human story, because we've now 80,000 people evacuated. Tens of thousands of others are on standby to be evacuated. 2 lives have been lost in the Eaton fire, which is what's causing the consequence behind us. The city's iconic landscape almost shrouded completely by the smoke. And they're really just taking it one step at a time, hoping at some stage the wind's going to change direction or to die down, and that they're going to be able to get this fire under control.
All right. So what are your thoughts? How you doing, Beverly? If you had already seen this clip, type it in the comment section. Or if this is your first time seeing it, let me know as well. James, she was also there. She was there primarily. She wanted to see the Ghanaian president. She was there for the presidential inauguration, basically. Beverly, how you doing, love? Jesse, yes. Okay, Jesse, you've seen it. Okay. So this situation to me is very, very symbolic. And again, I mean, you could have said no comment. She didn't say anything. So I hope voters, which they probably won't, remember that when it's time to vote. Laurie, what are your thoughts? So I'm giving you my review, but I want to know what you think about it. You going off to Ghana, and your city is literally burning to the ground. I mean, I was looking at some footage today. I could not believe what I was looking at. This is a tragedy. How you doing, Jeffrey? U.S. Army retired. How are you? Thank you for your service, sir. Yes. Oh my God. Vote blue no matter who. Please don't, people. These are some of the consequences, okay? No responsibilities at all. She would not respond. She could have said, you know, I'm here now. You know, we're trying to mobilize, you know, resources, something. She just stood there. Oh God, I don't. Tell me what your thoughts are. I just think I think it's a shame. Okay, let me see. Laurie said that was her first time. So I don't think that's right. When you're certain positions that you have, if you remember, you were here prior to the election, and the Curry Queen, she wouldn't grant an interview. And when people asked her questions, she would next question, you know, when they asked her about her being Black, next question. No, if you have certain positions, you are not at liberty to not answer questions. That comes with the territory. That comes with the job. I just dropped another truth bomb. And so the audacity. But remember, we've been talking about that. These are the elites. In their minds, I don't have to answer your question. She didn't say it, but she was looking at him like, what are you? You know, a minion, you know. She was just looking at him. And so, you know, that is totally, in my eyes, that is totally unacceptable, you know. So, all right, there you go. Isaiah, excuse me, said they're all corrupt, including Joe Biden, and that they knew the whole fire situation. Those are my thoughts. Okay, Isaiah, thank you so much, love. Elena, how are you? A DEI mayor, she made 15 trips to Cuba, making her a DEI commie. Woo. Elena's in here dropping some truth bombs. Elena, I think this is your first time here, love. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We don't want this to be your first and last time. And so let me show you. I have some social media clips to share with you. This situation did not have to happen, people. Mayor, how you doing, love? Let me get this ready for you. Let me tell you. Yeah, let me share this with you. As this situation was unfolding, let me show you how concerned she was and what she was doing. And it's so unfortunate, all these missteps of the Democratic Party, but when it's time to vote, they just throw everything out the window. Vote blue no matter who. So I guess they're just gluttons for punishment. I don't know what else to say. So look at this right here. You know, I always try to bring the receipts. Karen Bass left LA for Africa as wind fire warnings increased. She returned to a burning city. Okay. That's Karen Bass. This is New Scum, the governor. I guess they're trying to assess some of the damages, but you know, the Democratic policies, if they don't know by now, they're touring the downtown business district. And so right here, For the first 24 hours of the Los Angeles wildlife disaster, Mayor Karen Bass was a constant presence on social media. And this is for the people who are now attacking her. Her response is, well, I was in Africa, but, I was constantly keeping up with what was going on. That's the wrong answer, lady. You're supposed to be there. The people who voted for you, elected you for that position, you're supposed to be there protecting your constituents and doing what's in their best interest. You didn't do that. It says here, she was a constant presence on social media, urging Angelenos to flee evacuation zones and announcing her decision to declare an emergency. But she herself was far from the city. As flames tore through Pacific Palisades, she was on a diplomatic mission in Africa, communicating with key city agencies from afar. Bass left town on Saturday as part of a presidential delegation to Ghana, just as the National Weather Service began ratcheting up its warnings about the coming wind storm. Now, as I'm reading this, folks, you tell me what you think about this. Was this negligent? I think it was, but you tell me what you think about it. How you doing, Miss EST? Miss EST said they are repulsive, vile, and cruel. No bounds. Truth bomb. Miss EST, I think this is your first time here. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. I like your thought process. Bass left town again. Where am I right here? On Tuesday, she attended the inauguration of Ghanaian President John Dramani Mahama, leaving City Council President Marquise Harris Dawson as LA's acting mayor when the Palisades fire broke out. As she returned to the U.S., Bass faced some brutal assessments of the city's handling of the fires. In one airport, she stood silently. If you're just coming in, how you doing, Sister Noble? Right, Sister Noble, I heard that. So if you're just coming in, you'll have to go back when we're done. I've already played, I think, 2 clips, and I have several more to play for you. So in the video, and I won't read that because I just shared that clip with you. As the Palisades fire exploded in size on Tuesday and new blazes broke out in Shalimar and elsewhere, Harris Dawson, not Bass, served as the city's top elected official at news conferences. And with Bass away from the cameras, real estate developer Rick Caruso, he was her opponent in 2022. A mayoral election swept in to fill the information gap, blasting the city's handling of the disaster on multiple news outlets. Caruso, whose daughter lost her home in the wildfires, voiced outrage over the lack of water pressure that hampered firefighters in the Pacific Palisades. On Fox 11, he criticized Bass over her absence, saying that we've got a mayor that's out of the country and we've got a city that's burning. That's what happens when you vote blue, no matter who, and you vote in a DEI hire. We have a mayor who seems to be more concerned about being at some party, wherever the heck that is, Caruso said in an interview with the Times. We have terrible leadership, resulting in billions of dollars in damage because she wasn't here and didn't know what she was doing. Okay? Bass, well, I guess she started to see the criticism. And don't go anywhere, folks. I have several more clips to share with you. She said she took the fastest route back to the U.S., traveling one leg of the journey on a military plane. During that trip, she had phone service that allowed her to stay in contact with public safety personnel. I was able to be on the phone the entire time of the flight, she said. Asked about the low pressure afflicting city fire hydrants, officials with the Department of Water and Power said earlier in the day that there had been a tremendous demand on the water system, which had been pushed to the extreme. The system received 4 times the typical demand for 15 hours straight, lowering the overall water pressure. DWP General Manager Janice Quinones said at a Wednesday morning news conference. All right. Yeah. And then, of course, here's her politician statement. I want to assure the community in the city that our mayor has been actively engaged 100% of the time, the entire last 24 hours throughout this unfortunate event and crisis. You know the spiel. So whatever, lady. Recall the mayor. Yes. Let me stop sharing that with you. And I also have something to share with you on X. I still call it Twitter. Yeah, this is unacceptable, folks. And those of you who just came in, they had this man talking about a wonderful president. He was talking about Biden. I'm like, oh my God, I can't with some of these people. I cannot. So I'm setting up this next clip for you. Here we go. Okay. And so let me see what you're saying. If I miss your comments, I'm going to try to catch them. Okay. U.S. Army retired. California brought this on themselves. Yes, U.S. Army retired gets it. Yes. Tree huggers won't let fire breaks be constructed. The environmentalists are the ones harming the environment. Yes, this environment that they say they love so much and they're trying to preserve, they're the ones destroying it. That U.S. Army, I was going to say that later, but since you covered it, I was going to say that. The national weather predicted this before it happened. Yes, but she still went on her trip. Cammie, Sister Noble, they made an arrest. They have the man that set the fires. Mr. Fizz, U.S. Army retired Californians voted for the forest to be left in more natural conditions. No clearing of wood, underbrush, or control burns. Thank you, Mr. Fizz. Now, one of the classes that I teach, I talk about forest management. You have to have prescribed thinning. You have to have prescribed burning. They wouldn't even let dead litter, leaves, dead trees. They don't want anything removed. Well, guess what? When there's a fire, that's fuel for the fire. The environmentalists are to blame, and the Democrats who are enacting these dumb policies. Let me share this next clip with you before I completely go off my rocker here. All right. Let's watch this clip, folks.
The air quality is also a big concern today across Southern California.
And it's not going to get much better because of this wildfire smoke, which will travel for miles. If you have some sort of respiratory illness, you need to be aware to take care of yourself.
Even if you don't live near the fires or see smoke, the Santa Ana winds alone can be damaging to your lungs. Circle of Health Denise Tador explains.
It can affect people and cause that increased shortness of breath, that increased chest tightness, that increased cough.
Pulmonary and critical care physician Dr. Robert Goldberg with Providence Mission Hospital often sees a rush of patients when the Santa Anas swoop in. The volatile high-speed winds carry allergens, dusty ash, and the fine particulate matter of past fires. These pollutants can send your airways into uncontrollable contractions.
When you have a situation where you have cold air, you have dust, you have particulate matter in the air, that can really affect people and cause that increased spasm and shortness of breath. It really affects people with underlying lung conditions such as asthma or emphysema or COPD.
Within minutes of the start of the high wind warning, fires broke out in the Pacific Palisades and briefly in the Hollywood Hills. Not only was particulate matter 10 microns in diameter a concern, the fires bring the threat of even tinier pollutants.
Those come from things like smoke or combustion, and those are extra small. Those can get really deep into your lungs.
Scott Epstein, planning and rules manager with the AQMD, says this week's wind event appears to be much stronger than what our region usually sees in an average year, with the potential to cause more widespread health problems.
Here's the kicker. Here's the icing on the cake.
All right. So that's the end of that. Okay. Now, tell me what your thoughts are about that. Fire departments, the police are working tirelessly She could have said something. All right, Chubbs, don't we have a president and don't we have ambassadors who visit other countries? Why is the city mayor in other countries? How does that help a city? Let me read. That's a good point, Chubb. Let me read what Michael Johnson Michael said something that, Michael, before you came into the chat, I said that, but I want to read your statement. They want Karen Bass to be the mayor like she is now because they could control her. They can't control Rick Caruso. He would have did right by the city. And Michael, let's just be real. They wanted to make history. That's what Democrats do. We talked, Michael, I think you're new here. They'll stick Black people in little positions. Oh, she's the first female. She's the first Black person. No one's talking about her competence. Identity politics do not work. James said, any relation to Ernest T. Bass? I can't with you. Robert, I saw another podcast where it said that the fire hydrants were stolen. Yeah, and the ones that are there, the pressure's so low. What good are they? She must have been promoting tourism to Los Angeles all the way out in Ghana. How you doing, Pinky? Aurelius? Blessings, everyone. Hit the like button for us, folks. So yeah, this is totally unacceptable. But again, hey, those are the Democrats. They're just she was a DEI hire. Pinky, yes, she is. Yes, she is. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Okay, 11:24. Let me set up the next clip. Okay. All these Democrats, you've heard me say several times, they don't care anything about Americans. Now, illegal or people who are from another country, oh, they'll bend over backwards. Americans, meh. Let me get this clip ready. All right. And then I have a couple of posts to share with you on X. Now, this is where she's giving an update. I don't know. And it's just so sad. I just would have been disgusted. I would have been like, nah, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Okay, here we go.
You need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. All
right. So that's the end of that. Let me pull up. Let me go on. X is a cesspool of degeneracy, and people go on there and they say everything. So let me okay, here we go. This is Anna Kasparian. Now she's on now again, she's not a conservative. How you doing, Angel? All right. Cammie, prayers up. All the deceit. Yeah. More people have died since let me see, Dems are spoiled brats who, if they don't get their way, fall to the floor, kick and scream. You're right. Karen Bass took $17 million from our fire department to spend on her legal. Yeah. If you follow the money in all of these sanctuary cities, what you just said, Pinky, I have that up right now. Can you see that? I'll make it larger. All right. Let me make it larger so everyone can see it. Okay. California and especially LA is controlled by Democrats. Now, this woman's she's a Democrat, so I wanted to let you know that. Our mayor, who was in Ghana as fires exploded in our city, cut the fire budget by $17 million. Endless amounts of money was funneled to bull sugar, is what I'll say. She said something else. Scammer, homeless, non-profits. We're the highest tax, yet we have encampments and squalor everywhere. Even worse, We don't have enough firefighters to respond to the absolute disaster we're experiencing right now. Rather than conserve the record rain we got last year, we just drained it into the ocean. We are a failing city run by a sick excuse for local government. Now, again, this woman is not a conservative. You want to radicalize people against the modern Democratic Party? Send them to LA. Yeah, because she's on Young Turks. She is not a conservative, folks. And then here's some more post. 1 billionaire couple owns almost all the water in California. In 1994, the Resnick secretly seized control of California's public water supply. So California is just rotten to the core. All right. So these are the people that own their water. I'm sure their homes aren't burning. Yeah, Pinky, I'm going to get, yeah, they are. Let me see what else I had to show you. So even like I said, Democrats are coming out and saying something. But again, LA wanted to make history by electing the first woman, the first Black woman mayor of LA. So they're all about history. What about policies? Let me stop. Let me get to, so tell me, what are your thoughts on that? Right, Cammie, you know Anna Kasparian on the Young Turks. She is not a conservative. How you doing, Linda? Welcome, love. You have her talking against you. You're definitely doing something wrong because I've watched some of their videos. James said, get the super mayor Tiffany Henry from Dalton to take over for this man. Oh my God. Woo! That's an idiotic move that the Democrats would probably think about making. Oh my God. So you can't make this stuff up, folks. Totally unbelievable. Let me go ahead and get the next clip set up. Oh my God. Oh. All right, here we go. I'll stop sharing because I think you're done. I hope you were done reading the Twitter. All right, let me see here. Let me share another clip. Unbelievable. All right, let's see. Trump blames California's Democratic governor for fires. And when he's telling you the truth, they're not listening. All they're doing is still attacking him and talking about how many charges he's a convicted felon and he's this and he's that. That's all they're talking about. So, Rich Angel, URL, uniform resource locator is the address of a unique resource on the internet. Bass didn't give a website at all. She obviously doesn't use a computer. Rich Angel! I was wondering, what the heck is she talking about? Because when you say use a URL, well, you have to provide that so people know where to go. Badgerton, I love being conservative, dressing up, abstaining from vices, saying the word conservative in a funny way. Ah, yes, that is the life. Hope you're doing all right. Let's listen to this, folks.
At a press conference last night, talking about the gratitude he has from President Biden, still the current president, who has offered federal assistance as much as he needs.
Yeah, and the question is, on the campaign trail, I think it was in October of 2024, Donald Trump was saying that if he got reelected, that he could withhold federal funds from California. Obviously, he has a sort of a feud with Gavin Newsom, a feud with almost every Democrat governor and senator and Democrat in general. And I think the question going forward is, could that happen? Is this something he's going to actually do when he assumes office? Because he does kind of see the federal government and the budget and the monies as his own, as to dole out as he wishes to his friends. And so I think that's the real question going forward. But it is sort of sad that this is the same president we're getting again, that there are no lessons learned There's no sense that Californians are Americans, right? That they are struggling in these areas. 2 people have lost their lives. These fires haven't been contained at all. It looks like they're probably going to get worse before they get better, and that he doesn't have any sort of empathy and understanding about, over what these folks are going through. People have families there. Not only, you might have families still there. I have family there and friends as well. So it's just sad and still shocking.
Literally, as you're speaking.
All right. So you hear how they're talking, but that's the Clinton News Network. You wouldn't expect any different. Hit that like button for us, folks. Pinky, I blame Governor Gavin Newsom. I too don't know why we don't have desaltation plants on our coast. We have fires every year. You go through this all the time. It's nothing new to see here. I mean, it's more devastating now, but I mean, every year you're dealing with this. Right, Cammie? Yeah, Pinky, I know he thinks he's going to get the White House. No one's voting for that bum. But let me tell you another problem. I don't know, I mentioned it earlier, but I have a lot of people that have joined. So, and the police chief, they had the police chief that they hired. She was the first LGBT fire chief. So, Democrats are about first this, first that. So, the city is turned into a towering inferno. Salt water is bad for the land. Okay. Chubbs wonder if Biden is going to give the people of California $700 like he did Hawaii. Chubbs. Woo! Chris, how are you? Yes, Chris, I heard that they will not leave that man alone. It seems to me like they have other problems they need to be concerned with. Okay. They need to leave Trump alone. So they didn't have enough firefighters. That's another major issue. And they didn't have enough firefighters because guess why? Hundreds were terminated for not taking the stab. You know what I'm talking about? The vaccine. I can't say it on here. So this is unacceptable. But yeah. Let's see, where are we here? Rich Angel, remember how this happened to Paradise, California a few years ago? Houses demolished, trees. Yeah, I do. And think about it. Now they don't have enough firefighters, right? You know how the Democrats are, especially when it comes to white males. So the Democrats have systematically discriminated against white men who wanted to become firefighters. Make it make sense. Now they don't have enough. And like I said, probably fired most of, from what I read, they fired most of the ones who would not, get the, and that's amazing how that works, how this woke diversity experiment working. How's it working out for you, Democrats? I heard what are you saying, Chris? Cali is like a guinea pig for DEI hiring, and it failed epically. Cammie, that's what I just said. How is this woke diversity experiment working out for you in these democratic cities? It's not. Yeah. Now the tree frogs, the Californians saved, don't have homes either. Woo! U.S. Army retired. Yes. All these animals, we have to save. They're burning up just like your homes are burning up, right? It's a huge scandal out here. Some people must step down. Pinky, a lot of those men couldn't speak Spanish, so they were not hired. It's been happening for years. Okay. Let me share. I have another clip to share with you on Twitter. Hold on. All right, this is what I was just referencing. Everyone, I hope you can see this. In wokeness, I follow them on Twitter, and they said LA officials say they do not have enough firefighters. They literally terminated firefighters for not taking, and I won't read it. I can't read it, but you see it right there. So. Yep. Can everyone see that? Jesse, that's not woke conservatives have pervert. Woke means to be black and conscious of what is going on around you, not what you're saying. The lady who wrote a book on it can't even define it. Okay. Yeah, woke is being overly sensitive to Jesse, where everything is racist and everything hurts your fit. Woke. Yeah. And again, Rick Caruso, he's sort of a moderate. They could have hired him, but they couldn't control. Someone said it in the comment section. They knew they couldn't control him. So this was the choice they made. And because she was a black woman, they wanted to make history, you know. All right, let me see. I had something else on here. All right, you see this here. So, I mean, it is exploding on social media. LA has no firefighters, no water in the fire hydrants, and no money from FEMA to help its residents. Perfect combination for Armageddon. What are your thoughts on that, folks? So word is they want to make smart cities. Yeah. So as her cities burn, her constituents are suffering and can't breathe and breathing in all those toxic chemicals. California's a mess. The liberal media is not concerned with the incompetence of the Democrats. Again, they're still talking about Trump. They're too concerned with Trump. This is the current state of the American media, folks. It sucks, but that's just what's going on. How you doing, Sharice? They were also using prisoners to fight fires, paying them $5.98 to $10 per day. Thank you, Sharice. Okay. Hit the like button, folks. 3 months ago, Trump on the Joe Rogan podcast, Trump told everyone, all Americans, he mentioned it about California and their forest management, their water mismanagement, as well as their forest mismanagement. So, how all of these things led to the wildfires getting out of control. No one wanted to listen to Trump. He's crazy. He's a conspiracy theorist. He's this, he's that. He's a convicted felon. Da 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 da. Fill in the blank. He doesn't know what he's talking about. California has some of the best land, but some of the worst land management. You know, and the worst governance. And again, I think it was who said it earlier? U.S. Army retired. The environmentalists go out of their way to lobby to protect these endangered species and to preserve these certain lands. Now, who knows U.S. Army? And so again, oh, we're trying to protect this. We're trying to protect that. You're not protecting anything because it's all burning up. All right. So, yeah. And, you know, Twitter will put you out there. They will. Okay, this lady right here. This is Los Angeles's highest paid new city employee. Her salary is $750,000. And people are asking, where is she? She's supposed to be managing the water and the power in LA. Unbelievable. And so this was this was the complaint, right? I guess they were saying there were two firefighting is mostly white males. And for Democrats, that's a problem, right? Now, again, they don't have enough. Make it make sense. Got to make room for lesbian firefighters somehow. So, wow. So, you know, they're putting it all out here. You know, everything that was taking place. Look at this one right here. This is a good one. No water, but look how pretty it is. That's California in a nutshell right there. They're all about aesthetics, how pretty something looks. And this backfired because the conservation process, California does not have enough water and water resources to fight the eventual wildfires that they have every year. I think it was, who was, Cammy or Pinky was talking about that. And again, you have to remove the dead leaves, the dead trees. By trying to preserve the environment, they have destroyed it. The environmentalists. I lay this at their doorstep as well as the Democrats who are making these bad policies. Cammie and the right, they're constantly saying woke and have no idea what it means. Jesse, that's what Kamala allowed when she was Attorney General of California. She kept black prisoners past their time to fight wildfire. Yeah, she kept black and brown prisoners in there when they were innocent. She didn't care. So that's what she did. And then she just laughed about it. The people who lost their homes on PCH will probably not be able to get permits to build again. It happened to Suzanne Summers after her house burned. Thank you, Mr. Fizz. I forgot about that. Oh, but you're right about that. They're caucusing tonight at South Suburban College in an attempt to nominate Tiffany Henyard as a Democrat member of the Cook County Board of Commissioners. Citizen Kane, say it's not so. I'll get on that as soon as I end this live, Citizen Kane. And if I have to, I'll get on live again. Thank you, Citizen Kane. Drop a link for me if you have one. So the wildfires cannot be controlled because of the conservation and the environmentalist movement. They have destroyed California. Mr. Fizz, I don't care what a firefighter looks like as long as they're physically fit to do the job. How many were turned away that were qualified? Mr. Fizz, that's what I'm saying. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is an ultimate failure. Rodney Rucker, how are you doing, love? Unfortunately, people are going to vote for the same old stuff. Yet, Rodney, California is a lost cause. It's sad. This is from Cammie. What happened to the woke movement? If you really think about it, Malcolm X was the true woke movement. Okay, Cammie. Those homeowners in those $3 million homes burning need to start taking care of that brush around their homes. Stop expecting the government to. Pinky, in California, they have so many rules and guidelines. God knows they may not even be able to, Pinky. It is ridiculous. I just said the environmentalists and the conservationists have ruined the state along with the Democratic policies. Sharice, it's reckless endangerment to continue to add people to their population without water and the necessary resources to protect and keep the residents safe. Sharice, yes. Look at again. We're getting back to the immigration problem. Yes, and hey, you get what you voted for, people. This Karen Bass who wouldn't even answer a question. California politicians are backwards. She wouldn't even answer a question. Not even a no comment, no nut. She said nothing. Unbelievable. All right. Where are we here? Then they better keep it wet. So, Pinky, who knows? They may not. They have too many rules. I could not live in California. First of all, I couldn't afford it. Here's someone. Oh, I told you, Twitter is an absolute cesspool, and put them on a 7-year waiting list because of their gender or color of their skin. Did you hear this, folks? For firefighters, and we know the Democrats don't like white males. Yep. And Adam Carolla applied to be an LA firefighter and was told he had to wait 7 years because he wasn't black, Hispanic, or female. Can you all see this? Everyone see that? You see what he says right here? DEI kills. So they're worrying about the wrong stuff. Thank you, Doreen. Yeah, that was the last thing that I think I saw. 8% containment. Chubbs, California worries about the protection of a worm or a snail. Yeah, they have. Yeah, the conservationists and the environmentalists, along with the bad Democratic policies. Yes. You heard, if you were here earlier, you saw the little clip I played where you heard what Trump said. All right, so let me see. I have one more clip and then we're done. Okay, look at this right here, folks. Something else I wanted you to see. Los Angeles was under a federal consent decree at the time Corolla applied. It required half of new firefighters to be minority hires, as the fire department at that time was 96% white. The consent decree did not end until 2002. Everyone see that? The spotted owl. Yes, music therapy. I teach about the spotted owls in one of my classes. Yes. And Yuna, I heard that. What's suspicious is all the insurance companies canceling policies. Yeah. That's exactly. Right? And of course, you know who this is. DEI must die. Okay. So DEI costs lives and it's downright illegal. It's time to return to meritocracy. Enough of this. Okay. And this right here again is Kristen Crowley. So well, we know why she was hired, because of the DEI, or you know, so and then Jeremy Sardinas posted this. Okay. You can thank your Democrats for this. Right? Can you all see this? You can thank your Democrats for this. Callie's an absolute mess. Too much red tape to get things done. Yeah. Gilbert, well, at least the Delta Smelts house didn't burn. Mission accomplished, Mr. New Scam. Gilbert. Oh man. So they're in a fix, but it's their own fault. Their policies, folks. Look at this, folks. This is they just posted this. Whites have been a minority in California for 25 years. When will government stop discriminating against them? Everyone see this? Look at those statistics. Can you guys see those numbers? California is 39% Hispanic, 36% white, 14% Asian, 5% Black, 2 or more races, 3%, Pacific Islander, 0.36, Native American, 0.35, other, 0.25. Okay? The governor at the time when he applied to be a firefighter was Ronald Reagan, and also the fire chief at the time was Donald Manning, a registered Republican who faced scrutiny for discrimination towards minority groups. All right, so you see that? Okay. So they're in a bind, folks. Here's someone else. Adam applied to be a firefighter in California. 7 years later, he was called up for the written exam. You see that 7 years later? Who's waiting around for 7 years? Robert, the residents better vote not to keep it as a sanctuary city. Exactly, Robert. And he was standing in line. He asked the Black woman in line behind him how long she had been waiting to take the exam. She answered, since Wednesday. Yeah. Well, California is ultra blue. So that's what you voted for. Not him, not that man in particular, but that's what you're voting for. Okay. I have one more clip and then we can get out of here. All right. That's what they continue to vote for. Why? I do not know. All right, let's get this last clip set up. Oh, la-di-da, la-di-da. Okay, let me see. Okay, here we go. All right, here's the Trumpster. All right, here we go. Last clip.
We have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why do you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land. Water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, you know, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
we'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
And get rid of the trees that are fallen.
Yeah.
And it's about damn time. Governor Kate Brown, Governor Gavin Newsom, U.S. Secretary of Interior Deb Haaland, and tribal leaders all coming together to celebrate the world's largest dam removal along the Klamath River Thursday. The groups meeting at Iron Gate Fish Hatchery in Hornbrook. Last month, the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission issued the final approval of the historic plan to remove 4 dams on the Klamath River in California and Oregon. The decision is a culmination of years of work on the project's licensee, PacifiCorp, Pacific Power's parent company, on the parts of Oregon and California, and several state and local agencies, along with several tribes.
The folks out there that exercised your leadership every single day, that dialectic that we had throughout this process, where you expected and demanded more. You expressed that at times, and sometimes it was uncomfortable. Other times it was absolutely justifiable. I just want to thank you for making this moment possible.
The Klamath Basin watershed covers 9.4 million acres, an area larger than 9 U.S. states. Leaders of the Klamath, Yurok, and Karuk tribes attended Thursday. The tribes say the project will revitalize nearly 400 miles of the Klamath River and its tributaries, hoping to help restore river health and fish population.
All right, so that's the end of that, folks. Again, the conservationists and the environmentalists. And I see several. How you doing, Bill? ABC TV. Several of you mentioned the situation with the insurance companies canceling people's policies, people's homeowners' policies. It has to be a law against that. What are your thoughts on that? And they better be careful. We know what happened in New York. I mean, some people are already over the edge, and you cancel their insurance, who knows what they'll do, you know? In simulation, the Santa Ynez Reservoir in the Palisades, which holds 117 million gallons of water, was closed due to repairs to its cover. Okay. Music therapy, Trump will ban them. I think California has legislation to make it super sanctuaries, so more protection, but Trump will do. Yeah, all he has to do, folks, all of these governors, doing all this big talk, all these mayors doing all this big talk, and they're not going to work with Trump, and they're not going to turn these people over. All you have to do is cut the federal money. They cannot operate without federal money. Case closed, period. All Trump has to do is stop writing checks, and they will fall in line. I promise. The reservoir was completely dry during fire season. This reservoir has been sitting without any water in it. Oh, wow. Music therapy. Yes. Yes. Robert Butler, Pinky Wells. That's unfortunate. Yeah. If I missed your comment, I'm so sorry, folks. Hit the like button for me, please. Richard Quimby. How are you, Rich? I just got here, but did you cover that Karen Bass was a radical communist since the 70s? She went to Cuba at least 8 times. I didn't cover that because I didn't want to stretch the show out. But yeah, I saw that. I read that about her. Trained radical revolutionary. She was considered for vice president in 2020. Yeah, she's a piece of work. Yeah. And you're a mayor and someone's asking you just, basic questions and you just ignore them like they're nothing. Okay. Chubbs, how do you have clean air if you have major fires burning up state environments? They hurt more than they help. Chubbs, you can't tell these environmentalists and these conservationists anything. They know it all. Okay. Pinky said that the insurance companies canceled policies months ago. Yeah. There should be some repercussions, something that you can do, Pinky. Oh, Sharice is saying the insurance companies would challenge the policies due to lack of water in the hydrants. Yeah, but that's not, Sharice, that's a good point. But if I were the homeowner, I'd say, hey, I had nothing to do with the lack of water in the fire hydrants. Not my problem. I pay my insurance premiums every month. When there's a catastrophe, I expect for you to cut the check. How you doing, Smart Final? The Smart Final says, demo mayor, escape from Los Angeles. Yeah. Music therapy, Biden said he would fund California 100% for the next 180 days. Okay. Does he even know where he is? Music therapy. Oh my God. Is he not? Someone go ahead and please take him to Shady Pines. Okay. Pinky said California needs that federal money to care for those migrants. That's what I'm saying, Pinky. If Trump says, okay, no more money for you, yeah, they'll fall in line. You know, they want the money. They don't want the money for Americans. They want money for illegals. All right. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I have definitely enjoyed this. I am going to start preparing. I know I'll be live a few days, a few times. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Saturday. I may be live tomorrow, you know, Sunday, definitely 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, folks, I just wanted to know what your thoughts were on this situation. If she were a Republican mayor, type it in the comments section. How do you think she would have been received, and not even having the audacity to ignore a couple of questions from a reporter? How do you think a conservative or Republican mayor would have been received or treated by the liberal media had they gone to another country as their city's burning down? Burn, baby, burn. Disco inferno. It's like a towering inferno. That's what that's what LA looks like. Oh, Linda, me too, dear. Me too. I told you I have my thoughts, and I always give you my review, but I want to know how you feel. Pinky said these fires are to help real estate investors get more land. Pacific Palisades is prime real estate. Pinky, that's a good point. Somebody said Biden heard there was a major fire. He said, get the Air Force One ready to go to Hawaii. Yeah, Chubbs, I told you, Chubbs, get the van and take him to Shady Pines, love. It is, and at night it's hot. Oh wow, Pinky. Oh boy. Just I hope all of you, you know, are able to withstand it and not have to leave your homes. And God knows, I hope, you know, it doesn't come anywhere near your homes. Right, Linda? Linda said it was prime real estate. Now it's a huge charcoal lot. Yeah. Linda, some of the pictures that I was looking at earlier, I can't believe I'm looking at California. There is no way I'm looking at LA. Just totally unbelievable. Music therapy, they're going to get bought out, and it's going to be a business park, I'm sure. Remember the Summer Olympic music therapy? Good point. They wanted to rebuild. Okay. All right. All righty. There we go. Who was saying something about the super mayor? You wanted me to. I probably will do a video on the super mayor. Those of you who were not here last night, oh my God. You missed the super mayor, her boyfriend. They got into it with a community activist. A community activist and some other supporters were standing outside Tiffany Henyard's parents' home. She's holed up down there in the basement, but they came out. Tiffany, her boyfriend, they were out there. Her father, they were out there smoking weed. It was a mess. Yes, music therapy. I that's what I'm concerned with. Linda, yeah, I can't, because I think about the people, I think about the animals. Oh, it's too much for me. It's just depressing is what it is. Lola, how you doing, love? Lola, I think you're in California, aren't you? Yeah. Lola, I hope that you are not near the fires. I don't know. Are you in LA? Oh, wow. Lola, are you having to move, relocate? What are you having to do, love? Cammie, I did see that. Cammie said some of the DEI firefighters, some of them have serious weight problems. They took DEI hiring way too far. Yes. So, Lola, did you relocate? Oh, you don't have to. Lola, don't try not to breathe in those fumes, love. Oh my God. Whew. We're definitely sending some prayers up for you, because there's some other people here in the chat as well who live there in California. Oh my God. Devastating. Music therapy said, wear a mask. Lola, are you wearing a mask, dear? Because you definitely don't want to inhale all of those chemicals. And if people who have asthma or other health problems. Okay, Lola's wearing a mask. All right, good. Yes. Rich Angel, years ago, I saw a map that showed that the powers that be had planned on emptying out all of the West Coast and moving all the people to the East, mainly in apartments, asserting saving the wildlife. Rich Angel, that sounds like something they would do in California. The conservationists, right? And the environmentalists. I would not put it past them. Gilbert, thank you for stopping in, love. Wow. I'm sure pulmonary conditions will develop. Yes, music therapy. And what about the people with COPD? Wow. Oh, well. I will be live tomorrow. Love you too, Isaiah. Send me a text message, dear. Good. I'm glad. Thanks for stopping in. Lola, thank you for stopping in as well, love, and be safe. Right, Pinky? California has plenty of land for the wildlife. Yeah. Just don't have anything for the people. Make it make sense. Oh, I love animals just like everyone else, but people come first. Right, Linda? They may come up with some undiagnosed conditions. Who knows what you're inhaling? Just like those people from 9/11, and they have all of these health conditions. They inhaled all those fumes and that smoke. Chubbs, another great show, Miss Rolynn. Thank you so much, love. Stop accepting illegals. You're going to have more room for the... Yeah, you don't have room. You can't sustain the people that you already have. The more people you have, the more resources, right? The more your resources will be drained. That's land resources, water, air. Imuna, it is. I told you, I was looking at those pictures in total disbelief. I'm like, there is no way this is Los Angeles. No way. Yes, please be careful, folks. Please. I just sent you some praying hands in the chat. All right, we'll go ahead and go. Music there, Linda. It can be argued that it's depopulation too. Yes. You got to think about that too. Music therapy. You're absolutely right. All right, I am going to pack it up. I hope that this has been informative. When I was, watching some videos and doing some reading earlier, this was so depressing. Oh my God. But don't give up, people. We have to persevere. It's as if they want to turn the Western world into one big third world nation. Cameron, we're well on our way, dear. We are. Okay. Still can't figure out why they haven't built pumps at the ocean and used the ocean water. Yeah. Music therapy. Bye-bye. Okay. Music therapy. Thanks for stopping in, love. Rich Angel. Those are for you, love. I just sent you some hearts. Linda, right. Linda, Cammie, Chubbs, music therapy. Make sure you're here tomorrow afternoon. We have a weather event, so I'll probably be in the house all day. But don't give up. Stay positive for all my people living in Los Angeles. Don't stop thinking about tomorrow. Don't stop. It'll soon be here. It'll be here better than before. Maybe 2:00, maybe. Music therapy, prayers sent. Yes. Yes. Okay. All right. Please send prayers. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking music there. I'm thinking 1 or 2:00, maybe. Okay. Something like that. Thank you, Miss Lynn. I don't believe a homeless guy started that fire. Where would a homeless guy get a torch blower? He doesn't have money. Imuna, yeah. Don't blame it on the homeless people. Yeah, music therapy. So again, don't give up. Where are they? Okay. Just persevere. This too shall pass. Okay. Is all I can say at this point. All right. I guess I'll let you go. Anticipation. Anticipation. It's making me wait. I had to sing some Carly Simon. You know I had to. I can't help myself. Robert says, arrest Karen Bass. Yes. They caught the man on a motorized bike with a blowtorch trying to start a fire in the Woodland area hills. Could be someone disgruntled because they're homeless and they can't get any help. Who knows? Right, Imuna, encourage yourself and endure to the end. Right. All right, I'll see you all maybe 1, 2:00-ish, something like that. We'll get together. I'm going to do some research and see what we're going to talk about. So you know where I'm going next. I am going to the comment section, and I'll talk to you as long as you are there. Thank you again for spending your very valuable time here at the Rolynn Reviews YouTube channel. All right, I'm coming to speak to you in the comment section right now.